Alright guys, back again, and this is a different kind of video of a lot from my past. So if you guys didn't know, my main thing that I love collecting is Atari 2600, like vintage computers, stuff like that. And I really feel that this lot I liked it before this lot, but this lot really got me into that stuff. And I just wanted to show this memory. So this was from 2019, so this was like 5 years ago or so. And this is literally one of my most favorite memorable lots. And I asked my mom today, I'm like, do we have pictures of this lot? Like, I was thinking about it today. I'm like, do we have pictures of that time we went to our cottage and bought all these Atari controllers? And she's like, yeah, we do. So I went back and looked them, and I found them. Like, oh my God, I gotta show the people this. So basically the backstory of this lot, we have a cottage about a couple hours away from us, and we were there, and we were just stopping, getting fast food. We were almost there. But I checked Facebook Marketplace for yard sales, and this garage sale popped up, and there was just tons of Atari stuff and controllers and just tons of crazy stuff. I'm like, we gotta go to this sale. And so we went. It was kind of on a back road, and we drive there, and it was barely off the road. Otherwise, I don't think we even would have went to it. But thankfully, it wasn't really out of the way much at all. Went to the sale, and oh my God, it was amazing. I wish I had footage of it. Obviously, this is way before I even thought of starting a YouTube channel, but it was just tables just full of Atari stuff and vintage computer stuff. And I remember I went there, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick some things out. So I'm like, okay, I want this. And I ended up just kind of being like, oh, I think I just want everything here. So I ended up just kind of deciding to just make an offer for all of it, and they really didn't care. And at the time, this stuff wasn't worth really as nearly as much as it would be now. And I asked them, like, hey, if we bought the whole sale, what would you guys want, or what would you guys take for it? And they're like, I don't know, $100. And I was like, oh my God, yes, I have to do that. So I was so excited, and we loaded it all up. My sister's complaining, like, oh, let's go. But I was so excited about this stuff, and I just wanted to share this memory with you guys. So we do actually have a little video clip here of me and my dad unloading this stuff. Turn the sound off, but yeah, so here we are unloading it from the car. Joysticks. Just milk crates full of stuff. But I was just so thrilled to find this stuff. Like, we really had no idea what we were even getting into. This stuff was very dirty. It was like in a barn somewhere, so it was it took a lot of cleaning, which we will show later on the process of that. I'm very glad my mom recorded this stuff because it actually turned out, so because now we can show it off. But yeah, so here everything is. We are kind of loading it into my grandma's garage, and yeah, it was really fun and exciting. This is one of the bigger lots that I have bought at this time. Obviously, looking back, it's not that much stuff, but at the time, it just felt like mountains and mountains of cool Atari stuff to look through, and it's still, this would be a very fun lot, obviously, to get today, especially for that price. I mean, as you can see here, there's an Atari 400, and I do remember that ended up working, so, I mean, just that would pay for the lot. I don't know back then if that would have paid for the lot, but nowadays, yeah, for sure. You can see some TI-99s here. You'll see more of that coming up. There's this cool Atari binder that I still have, and just a lot of joystick. Here's a Tandy joystick. I remember I sold that one. But a lot of the stuff I still have in my collection, or I sold somewhat, like this Atari 400 I sold somewhat recently because it had a little yellowing. This book I still have. Very cool. These TI-99s I still have, especially at the time, these were just completely worthless. They're not worth much now, but I still have those, and there's going to be some Odyssey 2s you're going to see later on. So here's this other picture we were just looking at. So you can see there's a craft joystick in the box. I know I still have that one. A bunch of these Wicco bats I ended up cleaning and selling off. The majority of these I still do have some. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell from this picture. You can see a little bit right here. One of the things I really do remember about this lot is that, like, most of the controllers had melted rubber bands all over them. We should be able to see more of that later on, but especially, like, these Wicco, like, see this red stuff here? There was, like, red rubber bands melted, like, on a lot of this stuff, and I remember it was really hard to clean off. And I still have a few controllers today that in my bins that has this on it. It's just a memory to this lot. But, yeah, here's another little bin. There's a bunch of these QuickShot 2 Pluses. Those are really nice, like micro switch joysticks. I still have a couple of those. There's a grabber on that. A few of these controllers. Just this lot isn't. It's not going to do it justice talking about it here, but this was just such an amazing lot. As you can see how dirty some of these are, and it took a lot of cleaning for sure. So it looks like there was an Atari 5200. I can't remember exactly every little thing that was included, but later on we did get a picture after it was all cleaned and laid out. Here's 3 Odyssey 2s. I still have all of these. I know that for a fact. And with the switch box, that was cool. Because I remember at the time I bought an Odyssey 2, but it didn't have the switch box, and it has the different video cable, so I was unable to use it. So this allowed me to finally use the Odyssey 2, so that was awesome. But yeah, this lot was just very, very special to me. Here's an Atari printer, which this is in my display case still. I ended up keeping a lot of this stuff now that I look back at it. I'm not sure what this expansion card is. I remember I sold, there were some Apple II joysticks in the box, and I believe this Craft was one of them. Yeah, Macintosh SE2. So yeah, that I remember I sold that one off. I mean, I only had to sell off a few things in this lot to get my money back. But yeah, you can see the TI-99s. Basically just a little zoomed out picture of everything we saw before. Here's a pile of the joysticks more spread out. Let's see if we can zoom in here. So like here's a Suncom Apple II. Like I remember I sold like these PC joysticks. Here's that book, the word processor book for the Atari 400. Very cool. Don't see those much. There was a ton of these TI-99 control pads, and those are pretty cool. You don't like I really haven't come across much of those since this lot, and this lot was 5 years ago, so that just shows how rare these actually are. They're not crazy valuable, but they do have some value for sure. Like nowadays, these are probably worth $30 or so for a set if they work. Back then, they weren't worth a ton. Luckily, I held on to them and sold them off a little later on. Here's one of those 5200 BAT controllers. Yeah, just a lot of these Wiko controllers. I really wish I knew the backstory to this stuff. Like here's the computers with the power supply on the TI-99s. It looks like a couple games with them. I really wish I had the backstory of these items. I didn't ask back then. I really should have. But yes, there's like a lot of the controllers, which basically was what this lot was. It was mainly controllers and consoles, and this lot also taught me a lot about repair. Like a lot of these controllers, speaking of that, I can see there's some of the rubber band crap on there. It was on so many of these. It's weird. A lot of them, it was underneath, which is why you can't see it. But yeah, this lot really taught me a lot about game console and especially joystick repair. Like I had to open most of these things up and clean like all the contacts because they were stored in a barn for years, and obviously a very hot environment for all the rubber bands to be melting. So yeah, a lot of cleaning, a lot of testing was involved here, but it was very it was very important to my business today, I feel. There's another angle there. I don't know why these had X's on them. Most of these, I believe one of these didn't work. I mean, obviously it's been 5 years. This for sure worked. Oh, this is really cool here. I definitely kept this. This is one of those Commodore joysticks that were recalled because they were Atari was like, that's way too similar to our controllers, and it really is. Those go for about $90 now, so that's very cool. I'm glad I held on to that, and it cleaned up really well. If you watch my joystick collection video, I have that up on my channel. You will recognize like that I have a lot of these BAT controllers, and a lot of them are from this lot. When it's funny because this was the next day. I don't know if we can see the dates here. Yeah, May 25th, and this was the 24th, the day we got it. So I don't know where this. I don't remember getting this lot, but this was just another lot the next day. So there's a few 2600s and some Atari games. I'm not really sure what else. But yeah, so basically we stayed at my grandma's for a week. So I had to stare at this stuff forever because she didn't have a CRT, and we didn't have any. There was no RF switches in this whole lot. I remember that was really frustrating because I wanted to try some of this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I wonder if any of it works. Not like it mattered for the price, but I was just curious. But yeah, so I had to basically stare at all this stuff for a week, waiting to test it all out. I was so excited. But eventually we got home, And my parents were like, "You're not bringing that crap in our house." So I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough," because it was very dirty, and it kind of had a weird smell to it too. So we set this little station up. So here I am testing these things. We had a little card table with a TV and some canned air, some alcohol. I was cleaning all of this stuff, and it took hours and hours and hours. I remember I was just sitting here watching YouTube videos, testing these joysticks. You can see one of the TI-99s there, one of the 2600s, and this NES, I think, was in that blue tub that we saw earlier. Yeah, just so many joysticks. There's even a couple Sega Genesis pads that were in there. I remember you can see the grime on some of these, but yeah, it was a process, but it was really, really fun looking back, and it was obviously a very unique collection. I can't imagine why someone would need like 100 joysticks, but not that there was 100. This is some of it laid out. I don't think this is all of it. Maybe it is, but obviously in here looks to be some consoles. I keep right-clicking for some reason. Yeah, so there's an NES, Atari 400, a few 2600s. Zoom out a little bit more. You can see the TI-99s again, so you can see just how many TI-99 controllers there were. I mean, it was just amazing. I remember some had cut cables, and I think those I didn't put in this picture because I don't see them. Like, they were literally just cut at the ends of the cables. Ended up just making little parts, a lot of those for cheap. Some paddles, bottom there. Odysseys, and just everything laid out. And this was after many, many, many hours of cleaning. I think there's another angle here of this. Yeah, so there's another angle. Looks like I got some calculators too. There's a disk drive as well for the Atari 400. There's the printer and a few controllers. So yeah, I mean, looking back, it isn't as insane as I remember it being, I guess. But man, at the time, this was amazing. Like, I was so excited and thrilled to have this lot. And even now, looking back at it, it looks very fun and exciting to go through. But yeah, I mean, just look at all this stuff. Like, here's some. That's the only thing I remember leaving behind. There was a TRS-80 there. One of the white, I think it was the Color Computer 2, now that I'm thinking about it. And I left it. I don't know why. They probably would have just given it to me. I just didn't know if it was included, and I remember leaving it behind, and I didn't really care at the time. I didn't really know what it was until I looked it up after. I'm like, what is that thing? But yeah, obviously I know about that now. But yeah, there's some joysticks there. For those, that was pretty cool. So yeah, I think that's literally all the pictures. So amazing lot from my past of reselling. And yeah, it will never be forgotten. This is really, it brings back memories. Even though it was only 5 years ago, it really brings back a lot of memories watching this video here. I remember where this stuff was stacked to the ceiling. And I really do think there was more that was not in these pictures. But either way, from what we could see here, it was a pretty amazing lot, really. I think the 5200 didn't work, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. Just wanted to share this with you guys, a piece of my game hunting past. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos like this. I probably have some more pictures and footage from old lots that I could talk about, including the biggest lot I ever bought. I know I have several pictures of that, and I could definitely make a similar video like this. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching. You can see the joysticks, $4 each. They took a big discount. This stuff sat all day. Like, I remember we went late in the day, and they were like, yeah, this is our second or third day, and they were just done with this stuff. Nope, no one bought it. No one even bothered, so yeah. It's different times now. This stuff would not sit very long, I don't think. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. Bye.